a YouTube channel going under the name Rust Legacy, which is directly related to the rustlegacy.eu website, where you can download the older, no longer available version of Rust, 2013, 14, and 15. Yes, the 2014 version is there as well under a separate subdirectory. Commented about a project done by 2 or more different rebuilds of the client and or server. Wild Island uses our extended server. It has a fake online feature. We've already removed this feature, and it should now show the real numbers. So that's what was going on. I know why this would be there. It can also be a test purpose to test whether or not the client will pick up the information if you're using a new kind of server. It would still have to communicate in the old way. There's a whole laundry list of things you have to do when you're trying to make something work and be compatible with some other piece of software, so that's understandable. It should now show the real numbers soon, so I'm assuming it was a test phase. Cool. Then on Rust Relic, that was on Wild Island project, Rust Relic has the only real player numbers. Also, their client is clean and without viruses. I appreciate your assurances, but the YouTuber who claimed to be in charge of the project, which may or may not be true, also did the simple answer of upload the file as a zip file. Not every one of them does that. I will be reviewing each of the clients because there's more than 2 or 3. And yes, I'll build a test machine to do the extraction and sudo installation to do the test. But again, I shouldn't have to, trust me, bro, install something. It should be an extractable. This thing is almost, but not quite, a completely portable program. In fact, it really is a portable program. Portable apps, unless they're written, really badly or really well, work fine. Sometimes writing really, really well sometimes make them not want to work. But anyway, that's all not relevant. But anyway, the person at Rust Legacy's YouTube channel said, I myself helped to improve their anti-cheat. I would not allow any dangerous server program to be put on the website. This is available off of their website. I didn't see it on yours. So maybe you're referring to be used with your servers. I'm not sure, but okay, cool. The server appeared twice in the server list is as unnamed server because the API gets every server the player tried to connect to and automatically adds it to the server list. And there was a conflict between 2 IP addresses. Okay, there we go. And then to connect to Rust Relic, which is that modded version, you need their client because it contains an anti-cheat that communicates with the server, and my anti-cheat doesn't have that on rustlegacy.eu. Now, to bring this full circle, the anti-cheat, there's a set of them that can be just drop-in plugins to do it as well. It's sort of like you'd throw a cheat in a video game, you can throw the anti-cheat in it and then start it. And I've experimented poorly with making them kind of work. There's also RustRome and a couple of others that are modified clients and servers that enhance it. What I'd like to see is a variation on the arena format, if any of you are watching, where we pick an arena. Maybe we all spawn into the same room and pick, sort of like the Quake level difficulty thing, or jump to function, or jump to, badass mode, to where we could jump around on the island. If you're not aware of it, the game Rust from 2013, 14, and 15, client and server, use an island that we're only using 1/16 of it. There's a huge unexplored area. And the reasoning behind it is pretty simple. It doesn't have any resources except trees. In some places don't even have the trees. The rocks that are added on top of the terrain are part of a rocks update that terminates rather abruptly at a certain point. Now, I haven't done a real deep dive on that. I'll do it later. It should be possible, but I don't know. I don't know the details. It should be possible at the server end to tell it to overpopulate the rest of the island with new spawn locations for new stuff, because I've seen that on some of the servers, and it didn't require a change to the client, because the current rustlegacy.eu's client, for the 2015 version as it's sometimes called, it has the ability to tolerate extra spawn points because that's part of the game engine itself. I don't know if that's absolutely factual. I might have been dealing with some trickery that was done to get it to work. But causing spawn points to happen where they didn't, where they've been lost, is kind of cool. Like, for instance, putting the burning barrel, the barrel that's actually a pseudo furnace, to appear where it is no longer at now. At one of the locations, for instance, or adding back in the loot spawn crates in one of the extra buildings in Splittown, or Radtown as it's sometimes called these days, that extra building that doesn't have anything in it, but it has the little pallet where it was supposed to be, there's a setting apparently to turn that on, that sort of thing. These sorts of details and information are available to the modding crowd. Now, I'm going to make a statement here in a minute, but let's get to the next part of it. To connect to Rust Relic, you need their client. Good. And because of the anti-cheat. There should be a way to do this, just importing the anti-cheat so we don't have to download the whole thing. But again, please contact them and say, yeah, put it up as a zip file. This is a deal breaker. I can run, yes, I can set up a virtual machine and force extract the dang thing, but that would be just me repackaging it. That's no better than downloading it off of some back alley website. So it's kind of a problem. Also, if you're watching RustLegacy.eu's admin, thank you very much for providing the software. Can we have an archive of all the different versions and mods that existed? Because I found one a while ago that added in, moving water. Another one, I only played with it long enough for it to crash, but it would let me go to the water and have it not kill people, so you could actually build in the water and walk into the water. Another one added rivers. Another one added weather effects and used the unused textures to put snow around. So suddenly that stupid all-white burlap kit that's the default is suddenly overpowered because it would camo you in the snow. These are all features that have been added into the game at one time or another, by hook or by crook. Sometimes with or without the blessing of the people who wrote the original game. Can we have an archive of all this stuff cross-referenced? Because people like me love modding, and you'd end up benefiting by being able to add these things as drop-in plugins, maybe. But I don't know. I'm just a guy who cut his teeth on Unreal Engine, and that's about it. That and Doom and that sort of thing. I'm a run-of-the-mill geek on this. Next, I'd love WAPTEC to decompile RustRome's executable. That's another one that I think I've done a video on it. I'm going to do a video on how to grab it, extract it, and make it work, because I think I need to do that, to how to force these things to extract, because some people don't know that you can just extract and run them. Like I did a video on how to force them to update themselves when they don't, because sometimes they just screw up, because network traffic or whatever. Please check if it's safe. The Russian servers are the only ones that come close to being full most of the time. Yes, this has become a rather popular thing in some countries and groups because the older video game is more fun. Also, coincidentally, it makes it easier to cheat. I want to point out something here, a bit of a rant. A video game that includes an anti-cheat program from 2013 is going to be outdated. Even if you update it, it's going to have the legacy leftover crap from it. That's one of the reasons that the devs just dropped that and just remade Rust all over again. But here's the thing. The kick violation, being kicked instead of banned, not a kick ban, kick violation, for presuming guilt of a person having committed a fly hack or a rock hack or rock glitching by wanting to place something under an overhang of a hunk of rock, which works in the game and is not a form of cheat because it already blocks the other stuff, and or getting mad at us for, I'm not kidding, walking across the ground and the altitude changing because there's a slope to it, and that being declared a fly hack. The anti-cheat system for the original game reacts to the server or the client, I can't tell which, I'm presuming it's a server, having a burst of lag, a lag spike, blaming the user and making us sit there. Also causing lag spikes freezes us into position very suspiciously anytime we're being attacked by wolves, bears, or a deer is responding to us by actually attacking, which is really rare, or in the old days, zombies. You can see in the videos it always causes a lag spike. This is an example of where a gamer like myself will say the game is cheating, or the game devs are making the game cheat. This is going to be a bit of a rant, but I'll make it as short as possible. On my channel, everybody knows this, and you'll see this as a code word used by a bunch of technicians. There is no technical reason for that. If it's very obvious you have lag spikes, and every time you have a lag spike that the user experiences, it also coincidentally blames them for a hack that you're not really punishing them for because you know that it's not a hack, it's your anti-cheat software screwing up. Turn off the anti-cheat software. It doesn't work. I've seen only an admin flying once, and one other person high jumping, which was obviously a hack, but it's very subtle. But those are the things that anti-cheat thing was supposed to prevent, and they never do. I'm sorry, but it's over 10 years old. It's the same settings and code, and I'm requesting, if you're watching, rustlegacy.eu, make it to where we can add in, like we can now, we can put the modded ones in the modded tab. If you can find a way to do it, can you hoodwink it into letting us having a whitelist, blacklist, or whatever of not modded or official, but community ones, we'll call them, where you don't have the anti-cheat routine that is broken. I'm sorry, I'm a player. That does the game. I just want it to stop interrupting me when I'm trying to run away from a wolf, where it literally holds me still. It's really obvious it's holding me still so that the wolf can bite me. Okay, that's not a perception, that's what's going on. That's probably part of it compensating for the speed differences, because eventually you're going to get bit by a wolf or whatever animal if you're running away from them. I understand that. But the fact that it does something that seems very obviously like the game holding you still so that you can lose, cheating you out of the opportunity of evading, by faking a lag spike is what it looks like. I know that I'm sounding like a whiner, but anybody playing the game is going to say that same damn thing within 5 minutes. It's not just me. Okay. And no, it's not just my computer or my operating system. That's bullshit. The game was written to be able to run on the operating system running. Let the admins who are setting up servers have the option of turning off the anti-cheat entirely, because it doesn't work anymore. Just do so. Everybody I've seen on the internet that's able to cheat just runs the cheats and they never get caught, because updating the thing isn't possible.